It is ridiculous and it is against the laws of nature that we can have somebody sitting pretty who takes home more money than the credible entrepreneur who is doing actual production of goods and services.
We always say it as it is.
It is only in this country that when a thief is arrested, you hear elders from their tribe saying, he is our son and he is our thief.
If you are deviant
Yes.
and I call you leader, probably you are already a leader, but you are leading in the wrong direction.
We want to see the role of the youth
Yeah.
in the security,
Yes.
governance,
Yes.
and development.
The youth that I meet and work with here, you know, we call them the millennials and X's and Y's, this and that. They don't necessarily want to live like their fathers and grandfathers,
Yes.
do business like their fathers and grandfathers. They're more independent, they're better educated, and they're the ones that are making everything move in this region.
We look at the issues, we talk about issues that impact people's lives in Africa.
The African peoples themselves continue to cheer bad leaders, and because they cheer them on, they continue to be misled.
Let me ask you, doctor, would you rather be somebody who does not enjoy so much freedom but you are rich?
Yes.
Or you'd rather be poor who you are actually imprisoned by the poverty itself?
My goal is not to come here and say, I want the majority ownership, I want to own this, I want to own that, I want to do this. My goal is we all make money and we're all happy, and I help build a big business here.
Punchline is for Africa, with Africa, from Africa.
Thank you very much, viewers. Thank you again for giving me this opportunity from the Political Command Center in London. Thank you very much. I want to discuss this serious topic that has been on the airwaves around the world, and especially on International Criminal Court, on the verdict of the Ugandan ex-combatant of the Lord Resistance Army, Dominic Ongwen. To begin with, I want to make it very clear that I am not a party, and I will never be a party to fake investigations. Part of what has made me cry out and call the ICC out is the manner of investigations conducted in all their cases in Africa. All the situations in Africa have been tailored through forgery, fraud, and the witness fixing. The question of Uganda case, the first in Africa and the first in ICC so far, which yesterday received 61 accounts convicted, 9 accounts acquitted, is a very significant case for anybody who wants to study how flawed the office of the chief prosecutor and the ICC are. In 2005, in 2002, the ICC embarked on investigations in the Ugandan situation after a referral from the government of Uganda. This investigation is culminated in 2005, the first indictment that was dished out the commanders of the Road Resistance Army. The manner in which the chief prosecutor, Louis Morena Capo, at that time dished out these indictments remains a suspect. It remains a suspect not because there were no people who died. No. Millions and millions of people died, perished, displaced. Northern Uganda had a population by that time, from 1986 onwards, there was a population of about 4 million 6 million people inhabiting the area of West Nile, Gulu, Kitgum, Lango, Soroti, Karamoja, and some parts of eastern Uganda. The conflict took 23 years to be removed from a harsh conflict to dialogue on the table. There are questions that linger in any Ugandan. So yesterday, not every Ugandan was happy about the ruling. Very many people in Acholiland are very upset about the ruling. The conviction presented one side of the story. Where are the commanders of UPDF or NRA who commanded the battalions into northern Uganda? Where are they? What role did they play? Did they use rubber bullets, water bullets, copper bullets? If they use copper bullets, they also equally killed the people. The court erred in making a judgment of those who were recruited to go and kill. The 61 accounts stand, Miriam, and some of us are going to do pro bono for when. The 61 accounts stand because of one thing. There was no demonstration that Mr. Ongwen was mad. If you're a lawyer, international lawyer, you can see the bankruptcy of the judges that I've been telling you about. The 61 accounts only stand because Ongwen was not mad. Had Ongwen been mad, the 61 accounts would not have stood. Miriam, ask me why. Because the panel must understand. The judge was ruling, it is all the 61 accounts are crimes against humanity, about from 3 of forceful marriages. Remember the story to build up a case. The story begins with Ongwen himself abducted at the age of 10. It's scripted in the army. Indoctrinated. If indoctrination does not mean mental indoctrination, what does it mean then? If you take a child of 10 years and bring him to your house, every morning take him to school, every morning sit with him on a table to eat breakfast, that child will always eat breakfast the way you as an elder, an old person in the house, eats breakfast. That child will talk like you. That child will walk like you. That child will sing like you. That child will kill like you if you are a person like a Connie. That's one plank. The judges did not look at. They did not look at the expert evidence. They discounted the expert evidence. 2, if you look at the entire system, the judges said the soldiers went back to the barracks, never defended the civilians. So who are these soldiers who ran away without a fight, but went to the barracks to do what? They went to the barracks to fight, to kill. They were not fighting themselves. They were not shooting among themselves. They took part in a battle. In the process, civilians died in the crossfire. Who is accountable to this civilian? Not on the LRA, not on when alone. That demolishes the point of the judge. That's why I call this court a fake court. A fake court that does not listen. A fake court that has not asked. A fake court with 3 judges who have not asked, where are the other participants? I've now read the full judgment. I read it the whole night, Miriam. I read the entire judgment. There's nowhere where they asked, what about the role played by the NRA, operatives, the intelligence, the Kakoza Mutares of Uganda, who buried the Northerners alive because they were black in color. They went there, they dug graves. It's all documented. The judges did not ask. So it brings me to the question. I've said ICC is fake. I will say today again, it's fake. And I will say tomorrow, if I'm still alive, it's fake. And I will say, if I'm not around, I've told my daughter, who is doing international law, specializing in international conflicts, to query whether ICC is worth the salt to indict Africans. It is not worth the salt. You can't indict one side and leave the other side to walk free. Where are the files? Who decided who should be indicted? Who was indicting the 5 commanders of LRA? Is it Ocampo? Is it Besuda? If it is Besuda, what criteria did they use to indict and to not to indict the referral state? It has been replicated in all cases of the ICC across Africa. If you look across in Democratic Republic of Congo, Miriam, it is the same. Thomas Lubanga was a rebel. Kabila was never indicted. No soldiers from the Congo army were indicted. Show me one soldier, one general, one captain, one brigadier, one lieutenant colonel from the Congolese army who was indicted in The Hague. Bosco Ntaganda was a rebel. Show me one general, one brigadier, one corporal, one private who was indicted from the Congolese army. Were these rebels fighting with who? Whom were they fighting with? Let's go to Libya. Show me Said Gaddafi was fighting with who? Who was there that was Said Gaddafi was preventing from taking over government? Were they using rubber bullets, water bullets, or porridge bullets? Because there could be porridge bullets for people to drink. Show me in the Central African Republic, you have indicted the leaders of the rebel groups. What about Bozize? President Bozize, who invited even Bemba. You invited Bemba. You indicted Bemba, took Bemba in the cells, but there was no indictment at all for Bozize and other generals who actually roamed in Central African Republic. Show me in the case of Bashir, you indicted Bashir and others. You acquitted the entire Jema group, Liberation Front. Where are they? We have just got one from Darfur who had run to. They had not indicted him. He surrendered by himself. Miriam, that is the center point of what I am talking about. I'm talking about the bitterness, the fakeness, the fake court, a court that has not brought out justice, a court that has not dispensed justice, a court that has one-sided victors' justice, a court that comes to Kenya to arrest 6 out of 20 names. The court takes 6. What about 14? Who decided that the 14 were more guilty than the others? What are the names of the 14 Kenyans? Where is the envelope? Why was it made? Why did you make public the names of those when you collected the 20? Why did you make 6 names? Who told you to make 6 names? Who was behind the campaign to make 6 names? Those are the questions for the panel. Mine is to deliver the shock which I'm delivering to you today. That it is true, 8 generals, commanders of UPDF are singled out, were singled out, their files are there, but Mr. Ocampo decided to go to bed with the government of Uganda and did not indict the 80 generals. Out of the 8, 4 have died, 4 are still alive. Therefore, other Ugandans will take one step forward to find out why there is eroded democracy in the ICC. I close my case.
All right, very well. Thank you so much, Doctor, for that. So, as a doctor has said there, the International Criminal Court sitting in The Hague yesterday convicted Ugandan warlord Dominic Ongwen for dozens of crimes, including rape and forced pregnancy. The ICC judges said prosecutors had proved 61 crimes against Ongwen. Out of the 70 he was accused of committing, most of the crimes the judges found had been systematic, meaning that Ongwen may have been the leader of a group that actually committed them under his command. And from what we are learning now is that Ongwen, according to his family and the people who know the background of the story, was abducted on his way to school when he was 10 years old by LRA and was forced to join this group. So even as you listen to the whole story and the things that he's being accused of, his role as a child soldier and as a child abductee and becoming a child soldier in the NRA, should that have negated perhaps some part of the responsibility for the crimes he was accused of committing? Professor, I'll start with you.
Yeah, Miriam, thank you for that.
Before Professor comes in, Miriam, I'm going. There's one thing I'd forgotten, Prof. Why is it that the outreach worker, Maria Kamara, shifted his office from Kenya into Uganda? Why? To coach witnesses. To coach witnesses. You cannot bring your mouth and say it was cut by Ongwen. When you are being cut, how do you know it is Ongwen? When you are also equally a child. Boss, I might be wrong here, but how? You are a child and someone is cutting your mouth, cutting the ear, and how do you know it is Ongwen? These guys were coached. Some of the witnesses were coached. What to say before money. That's what Kamara does. Maria Kamara, who caused the trouble in Kenya. You remember what she did here in Kenya? Until the Kenyan government told her, we cannot afford to have you around this place. She doesn't, if you say the flight is going to pass through Nairobi, she will jump out. It is Maria Kamara who is even now fighting so hard about the Kenyan cases. I want to tell my people in Kenya, I might not be there to ever to start again because I did my job, and some people said thank you, some did not say thank you. But it is now Maria Kamara who is behind all the scheme of making sure that they leave a legacy with Fatou Bensouda, being West Africans, being people speaking the same from Senegal and Gambia. You know, Senegal saved the Gambia. So they are together, they are linked up to make sure they create a chaos for Kenya again.
All right. Thank you so much. Professor, the question I'd asked you, because he was abducted 10 years on his way to school, I was forced into LRA, and some people arguing, fine, when he was not a child, maybe he was forced in and all that. And then after he attained the age of 18, now that is when the responsibility, he becomes responsible for the act that he committed under LRA. It's a two double-edged sword here. I don't know from how if you were to sit there as a judge, from what perspective would you have looked at this case of Ongwen?
Miriam, if I were to sit as a judge on Ongwen's case, I would have acquitted him. Miriam, it is a duty of every society, Miriam, to protect children, to protect young people, and bring them up accordingly. Here is a schoolboy going to school, and he has been abducted, and he has been taken to the bush. The training he has undergone, Miriam, is the training of killing as a young person. And the question which I asked Miriam, as when these children were being abducted, where was the world? Where was ISIS? Where is the United Nations? So the point I'm trying to say that, Miriam, here, we have failed our children. We have failed to give them peace. We have failed to protect them. We have failed to give them security. We have failed to give them upbringing, Miriam. Even when he had become of age, Miriam, he is in the bush. How does he escape? If he tries, and Miriam, those who have tried, if you have watched some videos, Miriam, you are killed. So I entirely agree with Miriam, because I do not agree with the International Criminal Court. It is anti-African, Miriam. It does not believe in fairness. It does not do proper investigation. So Miriam, from more fairness, and I hope when God sits as a judge, he can give Ongwen benefit of doubt. He was never a rebel. He never rebelled. He never joined that group frontally, Miriam. He was forced into it and trained into it. So Miriam, he has stayed away from home. He has stayed away from the society. He has been socialized into another new life, Miriam, of killing. So as the judges were looking out into these cases, Miriam, they could have looked into it and give him a benefit of doubt, because he did not start rebel activities, Miriam. He has found himself doing this kind of acts. That one I submit, Miriam. I would acquit Ongwen. And proper investigation could have been done. And Miriam, here, what Maria Kamara, the way Dr. Masanga is putting, Miriam. If this person has been found coaching witnesses in Kenya, Miriam, and he has moved to Uganda, how do you trust that kind of person, Miriam? Even if he could have done it correctly in Uganda, but here in Kenya, you have been accused that, Miriam, you coach witnesses. Then I don't think this kind of person is investigation should be credible and should be considered. They should not stand any court of law, Miriam. I submit.
All right, thank you so much. Jeven Karanja, we know that Ongwen was abducted on his way to school when he was about 10 years old. He rose to become a top commander in LRA. He's now been accused, he has been accused of war crimes and crimes against humanity, including enslavement. Of course, in 2005, ICC issued a warrant of arrest on him, and in 2015, he surrendered to the ICC himself. He surrendered. I think he got tired of running. But if you look at the background of this story and how even Ongwen found himself in LRA, if you were the judge sitting there and looking at this case, what kind of judgment would you have given out?
Thank you, Miriam. And we see a lot of unfairness in the rulings that is coming from the ICC. And I think it is a wake-up call to Africans that we need to have our own kind of court that will deal with all African countries, like AU kind of, and AU maybe, a court that will be dealing with the issues of Africans, because I see like Africans will be better if we deal with their own problems without relying on these wazungus to give us the funding. Because you saw even what happened to Kenya when we had the ICC. We happen to get those people who go there. We don't know the criterion that is used to get these people into the ICC. Therefore, we need to have a more clear court. Although it's high time that we make our judiciary as Africans to be better off so that we can deal with some of these cases. But all said and done, we still have an ICC that we are a signatory to. And that is the reality. But if I was the judge and the ICC, I could have I could have set the guy free, because for once this guy was abducted when he was young. Therefore, he didn't go to that army force willingly. He was forced to. Therefore, he was guilty, because you know, when you are a young person and if it happens that you go to a court, the way the young people under the 18 years in our jurisdiction how are dealt with in here in Kenya, I hope it's the same in Uganda. A young person is dealt with differently with a person who is of 18 years, because to some time maybe they were coerced, they were forced to do things, and that is where judge comes in to look whether you did it voluntarily or you are being coerced or you are being enticed to engage in some of the criminal activities. We have seen it happen here, and it only happens when a minor is accused with a person who of 18 years. That is when maybe they might be accused jointly. But on this issue of Ogwen, this comes out clearly that he was not willingly to do that. And if he did that, maybe it is through the processes that he come to be a force that maybe caused those damages. But if I was the judge, I could have released and gone out there to look to the people who abducted him, to look at the people who trained him to be an army, to look at the people who give him the platform to be who he is or who he was then.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, Douglas, one would argue Ongwen, of course, is a child abductee, meaning he's also a victim of the same crimes he's being, he's found to be guilty of. The Hague yesterday, the judgment was read, and so we were waiting for the conviction coming later on in the year. But one would say he's also a victim. So would the court have considered the circumstances of this case?
Thank you, Miriam. And also one thing we need to understand as a people is that the man was a youngster at that time. So ICC was also biased in sentencing him, and also this case, like Dr. Masanga says, it does not hold water. Then if this young boy, the one that was recruited when he was a young boy, now is an old man, at the end of the day, if he's guilty, where are the commanders of UPDF? Where are the generals from Museveni's army? Because if he was in the Ronsi Resistance Army, the people from UPDF also are supposed to have been charged at ICC. Why are we talking about Dominic Aron? We should be talking about other commanders of UPDF. There can be no leniency on UPDF generals, and there will be no leniency to a man that has been taken to ICC and also charged when he was a child soldier. This boy was abducted when he was going to school. This is a victim of circumstances. Now, if we are talking about charging and also finding guilty Dominic Ongwen, we need to also know that we need to be told by ICC, where are the UPDF commanders? ICC is the most biased and the most fake criminal court in the world, and also we cannot be able to put our hope there as far as that case is concerned. I hope that Dominic Ongwen is going to appeal that case, and also so that he can find closure and the people of Uganda find closure. This was a child soldier, and also I think there were many child soldiers there. So ICC is going to jail every one of them and also find them guilty. So this is hypocrisy, and also it exposes ICC for who they are. This is a fake court, and also the hypocrisy that is presented by the prosecution is of the highest order. And also for Dominic Ongwen, I hope that he appeals these cases because they are fake, and this is hypocrisy. We need to see UPDF soldiers and also General Museveni at ICC being found guilty when they can find a child soldier guilty of these crimes against humanity, and also killing, torture, and also all those counts of his case that have formed the basis of the ruling at ICC. We need to be taught where are the UPDF commanders. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And speaking about the UPDF commanders who, of course, also participated in those heinous acts, the Ugandan army has said before that Ugandan soldiers who committed abuses during the conflict have been prosecuted and convicted, although it has been unwilling to provide details of such cases. At least some former LRA fighters, including some senior commanders, listen to this, have been integrated into the Ugandan military and were deployed in the counter-LRA effort without any investigation into crimes they may have committed during their time in the LRA. See? Now they get immunity. And the ICC has jurisdiction over serious international crimes committed by all parties to the conflict in the northern Uganda. The prosecutor has yet to answer decisively whether her office will pursue cases against members of the Uganda's People Defense Force. The absence of cases against government forces has contributed to persistent concerns about the court's impartiality among people in the affected communities. Professor.
I think I'm here. Let me, as a Ugandan,
because I'm really, because time is really gone, and I'm trying to, if we can finish before 1, because we also have something else.
Yes, but the point is, you have raised another question of integrated.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, the Uganda government is saying. I raised the question that there were no army. Now the Uganda government is saying they have already charged those officers, but they were not charged in the International Criminal Court. Two, the officers, the men who returned to Uganda integrated in UPDF, they returned under the Uganda Peace Talks Agreement, which I signed, which Rugunda signed, which Museveni signed, which all the international partners signed.
Yeah.
So they were given amnesty and told to return home. And I got all of them, over 100,000 of them men, they returned to Uganda. They are there. They have never committed any crime. Those who wanted to go to the army, I wanted just to clarify, I'm not talking much. Those who wanted to join the army, joined the army. Professor, those who wanted to go to school, went back to school. Those who wanted to marry, married. Those who wanted to enjoy their lives by doing business, are doing business. That was a general amnesty as a result of the Juba Agreement. It still stands constitutionally, and it was done constitutionally, endorsed by international community. So you cannot accuse anybody after that agreement, which was recognized by the United Nations Secretary General and the Security Council, which sent Mr. Chisano as our mediator. As one of the overseer of the process on behalf of the Secretary General and the Security Council. Therefore, whatever Uganda government is talking now, if they have charged those officers, let them produce the sentence.
There's no proof.
It doesn't die.
Yes, there's no proof that they were charged. They're just saying they cannot.
True. That's what I wanted to clarify on that.
Thank you so much.
Professor, you can.
Professor, just going on with the clarification there by Dr. Matang. Of course, he was involved in bringing the peace there in northern Uganda, and of course, he's saying he's a witness. Some of the people were forgiven. They were allowed amnesty, and those who wanted to join the army were allowed. Those who wanted to go back were allowed. They were given a blanket amnesty, regardless of what they had done and their role in the heinous acts that happened there. Now, one would wonder. Now, Ongwen, who was 10 years old and forced into this, I mean, why was he not given that option?
Yeah, Miriam, that's why we are saying the whole judgment and sentencing is a scam. It does not stand the tenets of fairness and justice. And thank you, Dr. Masanga, for making that kind of clarification. If the soldiers were not handed over to the air, they were tried tried in Uganda. Why could they try when in Uganda? So I stand and I don't want to labor much on this, Miriam, that who are the people who abducted Ongwen? Where are they? What action has been taken for them? What effort has been brought forward? And if there was a peace agreement which was brokered, Miriam, and the people were given amnesty, and the people were told, now you can start your life. How dare you just now come? And that's what we're saying. This is selective way of trying to punish other people. And let me tell you, Miriam, time will prove when will appeal, and it's going to be acquitted on that appeal stage.
All right.
Because the sentence itself does not have a leg it is standing on. So Miriam, and I've said, Miriam, we have failed when, as a society and as a world, children are supposed to be protected. This is a child was going to school. He has been taken to the bush. He has been trained to kill people. That's what you know. So at what stage, Miriam, do you want to have this child being responsible? The way we bring our children, Miriam, like now in the Kenyan side, on what we are trying to see happening to our children in school, burning houses, fighting. Our leaders are showing them the bad manners, and then tomorrow you turn around and start blaming children. Miriam, this is totally unacceptable, and I find the entire judgment being a scam, being unfair, trying to net and it is not even serving the people who were affected. Miriam, I want the best way, Miriam, on this is Miriam is reconciliation. Even the people who are abducting in Ongwen, Miriam, there is a case they were trying to pursue. There are some things they want them to be being done. There are things which made them to go to the bush. So Miriam, this is a kind of conversation, a discussion, and already a peace agreement has been signed. Amnesty has been given, Miriam, at that stage when the amnesty and the forgiveness and the conciliation was done and accepted by United Nations, the case did not have anywhere to stand. I submit, Miriam.
All right, just seeing some images there running as you were speaking, Professor, of the child there with a huge gun. Things like that makes me very, very anxious. I don't like seeing such images there. Javan, if some of the soldiers were given a blanket, amnesty, regardless of their responsibility and the acts of the human rights abuses that they committed, why do you think that was not an option for Ongwen? And if, should the prosecution stand with the claims and charges, of course, that now he's been charged?
Miriam,
don't you think?
Miriam, please, my sister, let me correct something here. It is not given blanket amnesty. They were told to go and do reconciliation. Professor, you have started that Northern Uganda conflict. Reconciliation, reparations, go home, We went to Uganda for the first time, went around the whole country as a delegation. I'm now telling you to ask Ugandans, what do you want? To pardon Konyi or to punish Konyi? 90–80%, and it is documented, it is in the UN. 90–80% of Ugandans said both sides, Museveni side and the Konyi side, killed. So we pardon all of them. They pardon the Konyi. They pardon everybody. It is on record. Ask me.
But Ongwen is answering those cases at ICC. So my question was, why was he not pardoned? That was my question. If everybody else was pardoned.
He was not pardoned. There were people within the LRA who did not want the peace agreement. Those who wanted the peace agreement are the ones I brought back. Those who decided until 1 year was over of the amnesty are the Ongwens. They were caught out. They said no. Some people agreed to return. Even Ongwen's children are in Uganda. They are big boys. I handed them over to UNICEF myself in a plane. I brought them by plane from Garamba Park with the wife. It is me, the leader of the negotiating team. I brought the wife, that wife they were mentioning. It is me who brought them from the forest and over to the UNICEF, who were looking after them and relocating them. Some to be taken to Canada, some to be taken in what? So those who refused Miriam are the ones who have been caught. Ongwen was caught outside the area of jurisdiction of the agreement. Okay? 1 year passed. Ugandans had already forgiven everybody, but Ongwen had not surrendered. I want to tell you that today there is a commander called Kwaero. He is in the ICC court in Uganda. He was released under the Amnesty Act, but nobody can take him where? So they decided to leave him in where? In prison for self-custody, because nobody accepted him to return home. There are several commanders who surrendered, who came willingly and said, I am fed up, this is my situation. The Uganda government has not killed any, and I want to be very honest. I give a credit where it is due. Museveni did not kill anybody who came back home after our agreement. Those boys have become Museveni's campaigning managers in NRM. Some of the commanders have grown to the ranks, you see them. Generals, they are there since 2008. We have brigadier generals, colonels from the LRA unit. He has not discriminated anybody. Mimi sitaki kuzungumiza. I can't talk lies against the president of Uganda that he has killed anybody who surrendered and went back and integrated in the UPDF. No. Those who wanted to go to school, Miriam, went to school. And they had to do what we call alternative mechanisms. Alternative mechanisms. What is an alternative mechanism of justice? Is reconciliation, restoration, a redemption strategy. To jump the egg, mataput, it is called mataput. You jump the egg and tell the other clan, I raped your daughter, but I've jumped the egg. If you don't jump that egg, the Luo community has their custom, you die. So mataput was used as a deterrent for no future If you have jumped that age and then you come back to kill people again, you will be the one who will go. Not by people, but by the age itself. Or whatever it is. It is alternative mechanisms of justice that we put what we call reconciliation. Miriam, it is where I picked this thing called a redemption strategy. It is today, it is working fully. Let's not even waste much time on this. You move to the second topic. It is working fully in Uganda. There is no soldier of Konyi who has taken up arms in Uganda who returned, who is fighting against the government. It has healed. We have healed. People have healed. The ICC now ruling is the one going to cause what? More problems, because they want retributive justice. Ours was restorative justice.
Yes.
We finished it. Thank you very much.
All right,
Let's
Doctor.
close the chapter.
Yes, indeed.
And God forbid.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, Doctor, for that clarification. And I think you've explained that very well. So, yeah, I think that's okay like that. Our next topic, but I see the time is really, really far gone. So maybe we look at it, Doctor, if you don't mind, on Africa Showdown. And that is that petition that Bobi Wine took to the Supreme Court.
I know everybody has a timetable limit. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you. That God bless you and have a nice weekend. Kirimi, have a nice weekend. Enjoy the chocolates wherever you are. Miriam, you are going to school or to study or something else.
Yes.
I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
And I wish me also good luck that I've struggled to be here.
Yes.
And to see. And Karanja, thank you very much. I will communicate it to you, all of you, by phone later on.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so
I'll
much.
talk to you, Karanja and Professor, and that's it.
Okay.
I wish you good weekend. Let's meet on Sunday. Let's do our job as we have been doing. Let's do it. This is our sign. Our sign. Yes. There you are. God bless you. Karanja, I will talk to you. Professor, I will talk to you. Kidi, I will talk to you. Marine did not appear today.
Yes, I think she was.
I will talk to all of you, but be there on Sunday.
All right.
God bless.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Douglas. Thank you, Javen, and Kidi, who I think got busy, did not come back. And thank you, Doctor, so much for that information. You've clarified some of those issues for us. So we shall continue with this conversation on Sunday on Africa Showdown. God willing, 2 p.m. East African time. Thank you so much for your time. My name is Mira Mugutu. Thank you for watching.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.